So what we're going to start with is I'm going to show you the mobile app like you see on my screen here. I am screen mirroring it for you, and you're going to see, we're going to walk through a demonstration. So we're going to demonstrate our field service module, and we're going to see the time that maybe a technician or our operations guy is out doing the work. We're going to see that show up on his time card. We're going to run through and do a payroll run, very quick payroll run, and we're going to see that cost showing up on the job. So from start to finish, all of it showing up on our actual project. So as you can see here, our mobile app is very similar to our actual desktop application. It has slightly different changes, just like any other mobile application. But what you see here are the different screens and workspaces that we have available. So what you'll see here is what this particular person has access to, because you can lock down the system so everybody does not have to see everything. So as a field tech, I'm going to come here to my appointment list. And bear with me because I'm using my mouse in one hand and I'm actually using my left hand to use my actual mobile app. A little tricky sometimes. So what we see here are my appointment lists. It's going to show me as a technician all of my appointments. So I am logged in on my mobile app as Joe Hansen. These are all of the appointments that he has done. He also has the option to filter these things. He can see all of his appointments. He can filter by the date. So if I was to click on that, I can filter by the date. And if I am a supervisor, for example, I can go in, if I have permissions to see someone else's appointment, I can see what everyone else is doing from my phone without having to be at my desk. So if I scroll through here, I have an appointment listed right here that is not started. So we're going to start this appointment. And as I do that, I'm going to come in here and I can see the details. All the details that I see here are actually listed on my desktop as well. I have my summary tab right here, which is going to show me little details about it. And you have little features that are very helpful for our technicians, like this view on map. If I click view on map, I'm a technician. I don't know where I'm going. I can click on it and get directions to go straight to the job site. Okay, I can navigate right back to Acumatica, and it shows me a lot of different features like that. If I come here to my details tab, I'm going to see what services. So say, for example, I got a call, it came to the office, I need to come in here and I need to do a couple of different things. So my service that I am providing them as a technician is listed here. And then I even have instructions. They're telling me, hey, install the HVAC near the rear entrance, whatever this case may be. So I can come in here and do just that. I can click on this, look at my service. It's the travel. I can do a lot of different things, like taking a picture. If I need to prove to the home base, I actually did the service. I actually installed it. Here it is. I can even add a note if I want to do that. I can type my note or use my little microphone on my iPhone and say, here is the note that I'm sending back to the office. And click my done. And now it has it in my actual app that will feed back over to the desktop. So at real time, as I save this, the mobile app feeds real time back over to the desktop. So as you are working in the field, the office can keep track of everything that's going on. Now, I'm in my appointment. So let's come down here to the bottom right-hand corner and I can start my appointment. So I can start it. You can also track your travel time. You can click depart. When you click depart, it's going to track the time that the actual technician is going out to the job site. And when they're done, they can click those three little dots in the bottom right-hand corner and say that they have arrived if you click that depart button. So if I've done everything, I've taken my picture and all that good stuff, we'll just pretend that we did. I'm going to click complete. I've completed my appointment, and that's all I have to do. And again, you can lock down even the permissions in the mobile app that the actual technician does not have rights to complete an appointment. Maybe you guys don't want him to complete it until the office verifies some things. It's a lot of flexibility in a lot of our modules in Acumatica. Because I used to do project accounting, I love that feature. It's still ERP. It's still auditable and I can track it, but I'm not married to things. It's very flexible. So we can make it specific to how our company needs to use it. Okay. Once I have that done, my status is complete and I can do a lot of different things from here. I can email this to a customer. I can show a preview. I can even sign my report. So once I'm done with the work, I can get a signature and just sign it in real time, signed, and click done. And all of that information feeds back to the actual desktop. So I'm going to move this out the way. So let me click on this, move this out the way, and let's look at our desktop. So I'm going to come here to the actual appointment that we just did and refresh my screen. And once I refresh my screen, I'll have the details of what the technician actually did in the system. So my status is complete. If I click on my details, I can see a little highlighted note here. So when I click on it, that's the note that we just put into the system. So it's real time. I can also come up here to my files and click on it, and I can see the signature from the customer. So I have a signature verifying that they did sign off on this actual service. Okay. I can even come here to the log and I can manually update the log, or I can have the system just track the time of the tech. So if they're doing an appointment for 4 hours and we're only charging for those hours, we can have them put that here, or we can manually update it. For example, if my technician goes to the job site, starts his appointment, forgets to complete it, and goes to lunch or goes to another appointment, you do have the option to manually update so you don't overcharge your customer. Okay. Once I have my appointment completed in the system, I'm going to go here to my time cards, and I'm looking at Joe Hansen's time card. And as I click the plus sign, I have that time sitting here. He has 8 hours that is now sitting here on that particular project. And he doesn't have to fill out a manual time card every single time. He can add to this time card. He can add more time. So say he goes out to another project, he can come in here and say, I worked on Tuesday on another project here at this cost code, and I finished the week out there. Say he did that. He can save his time card and submit it. And whatever permissions and settings that you put into the system, they either have to fill out a 40-week, less than that, or more than that. It is completely up to how you decide to configure it for your system. You also have approval maps in the system. So you can have the status as pending approval, and you can see who the approver is here. So I am not the approver, but I'm in this work group as Maxwell Baker. That's who I'm signed in as, so I can sign it. And so that's something we would teach you during training, the flexibility in how to do this, how to make it easy, how to stop the stoppages that usually happen if someone's out of the office. We teach you different things like that in the approval process. Once I have my time in the system, now I can come on over to payroll and I can run a payroll. So I can come in here and choose the pay group that I decided to put him in. And let's choose the date in which we are running payroll. His appointment was on the 18th. So we're just going to pay him for that one day. I can come in here and I'm going to add my employees. So all of my employees that are available in this particular work group shows up, but I only want to pay Joe Hansen, and I want his pay to be contingent upon the time that he worked. And so I'm going to add him in and close. So he's got 40 hours in the system, and I can even come on over here to my earning details and see the details of it before I move forward. So this was a day that he traveled out to this project, and the rest he was at another project. So you see that listed there. I can remove my hold and release it. Now, when you're doing a full batch of payroll, you have a few steps that you go through. It's still not very long, but if you have one person and you're pulling in time, you can actually come here to the paychecks and adjustment screen, and you can finish this one guy all out in one screen without having to manually move. The system will move you to the next place on its own. So as I come here, I can verify all of the different things. I can verify his deductions and benefits, verify his taxes, anything like that by calculating it. So if I come in here, calculate his actual payroll, when the system gets done, it is going to look at his actual pay for that 40 hours. It's going to look at the taxes where he is, the deductions and benefits that he offers, and get you his net pay as seen up here in our summary section. You can verify that data by listing here. You can make adjustments and changes as needed, and your status is now pending payment. And now once you've done that, you can process his payment. The system's going to move you to the Create Payroll Payment screen, select this one for you already, and process his Fed wire to be direct deposited into his account. And our last step is coming here to the Payment Batch screen, and you can export it. The system generates this ACH file that you can send on to your bank. And you can also create what we call in Acumatica a business event. So once it exports the file, you can shoot it right on over to your bank without having to drag and drop it into an email if you don't want to do that. And then you can come in here and confirm. The bank said it's good. We're all good to go. Our status shifts to paid. And now we can release it. So now this paycheck is going to show up in our journal. What is it called? Our general ledger. And then it's also going to be on our project. So let's navigate to our project. And I'm just going to refresh my screen. And let's look at the details. So in Acumatica, just like any other system, you have a cost budget area where you can see the details, the actual time sitting here on our labor account group, and you can view the details of the transaction here. You also have a balances tab. Our balances tab is a snapshot of our revenue or schedule of values and our cost budget. I can do the same thing. I can highlight that line, click view transactions, and it's going to show me a pop-up window, and I'm going to see the details of my earnings. So I see things that I've listed here from the 4th through 11th. And now let's come down here and I can see the details of what we've done in the system. So I can see his actual time sitting on the system and the labor burden. Okay. So you have all of the payroll for that, the hours, and all of the burden listed there as well. All right, so that's a quick little demonstration of how you can use the full functionality of the system, how they are out in the field doing their work. The time automatically shows up. You can take that time and put it in for the payroll, and then you can see that cost sitting on the project, not just their time, but including their labor burden. All right.